So, little Paul. I'm sorry, I have another sports story, but this is a story about the greatest sport that ever took over our great nation in the mid-90s. Of course, I'm talking about roller hockey. Now, the first thing that you have to know about me is that I used to ride the short bus to school. It's true, because I didn't start talking until a very late age. I was placed into the special needs class with all the kids who had to wear football helmets every day and be strapped down to their chairs to stop them from hitting themselves. But finally, by 3rd grade, it was determined that not only could I read and write, but that I was at a middle school level, so I was moved over to normal classrooms. But it was too late. All of the other kids already knew that I had been transferred from the short bus room, which immediately outed me as a social pariah and made me a target for every bully in the school. I was picked on relentlessly. I was the kid who got beat up every day for his lunch money. And it seemed like all of my bullies were named Mike or Michael, which has led to a lifelong prejudice against anyone named Mike. And this went through middle school and well into high school. And so, suffice to say, I grew up as a pretty angry kid. I couldn't even throw or catch a ball. I was always picked last for team sports at gym. But I really liked to be active, and I loved rollerblading. And I would come home every day from school, set up this little hockey net, and spend hours just skating back and forth, hitting a ball into that net. So my father signed me up for a local roller hockey league at a roller derby back when those things still actually existed. But roller hockey back then was mostly used as a means of cheap off-season practice for high school varsity ice hockey teams. And do you know what kind of kids played ice hockey? I'll tell you, assholes. To be specific, rich bully assholes named Mike or Michael who would beat me up every day and take my lunch money. And so all of the teams were made up of pre-existing varsity ice hockey teams, all of them except for mine. I was on the team of all the misfit outcasts. And I'll never forget that first day of practice when I met everyone. These were all poor, broken kids from poor, broken homes. These were chain-smoking, weed-smoking, sniff-gluing, natty ice-drinking 14-year-olds who would curse like George Carlin, but they were actually the nicest kids I had ever met. And our coach was someone's older brother, and the name of our team was Red Dogs, back when that drink was still around. And so our jerseys sported the Malt Liquor Company's logo. And every game, someone's white trash dad would bring a case of it and get shit-faced with all the other white trash dads, and usually sneak all the players a cup or two of it before the games. And we were terrible as a team. We were the bad news bears of the league, but we had that thing that every disenfranchised, cynical coach with a troubled past and outstanding legal problems who comes around in the end and will eventually tell his team we had spirit. And more importantly, we were fucking crazy. And we had become notorious, and I had become the most notorious player, and we established a legacy. Do you know why I loved roller hockey? Because I was terrible at it, but I was fast. And I wasn't afraid of pain. And here I could confront my bullies, and I could skate into them and check them into a wall hard enough that they might hit the ground and cry. And the only punishment I had to worry about was a 2-minute timeout. Are you kidding me? I had found my catharsis. I had found my vindication. I had found my God, and that God was called roller hockey. I held the record for most penalties in the league. They nicknamed me the Submarine because I would just coast in the background, silent, invisible, waiting for the opposing team to come at me, and I would spot the strongest player, and I would just make a direct beeline right at him and take him out like a torpedo. They say that the best offense is a good defense, and no one could score on our goalie because I made damn sure they never got anywhere near that goalie. And every time the penalty buzzer ran off, all of the other teammates and all of our fathers would clap and cheer. Oh, there's Michael N., who poured a milkshake over my head at the mall last week. Boom! There's Michael S. and Michael B., who used to chase me home from school and pin me down to the ground and de-pants me. Whack! Somehow, all the other teams became afraid of us, and we made it to the championship game, where we played against Strathaven's varsity ice hockey team. They tried like hell to take me out at the beginning of the game, but it only fed into my rage and made me more aggressive. This was a battle. It was war. And somehow at the end of the match, we're like 20 seconds away from the end of the game, we're tied, and I have the ball. I'm making my way down to the other goalie, and I'm just wiping out every player who's trying to make their way at me. And I get down there, and the goalie throws himself at me. He trips and falls. I shoot, and I score, but just as the ball goes into the net, the penalty buzzer goes off. Someone on my team had checked an opponent on the other team, but we were still awarded the point, which meant that we won the game. But the goalie from the other team sucker punches me. He doesn't get a good hit, so I turn around, elbow him, and drop him. And in moments, all of our drunk white trash dads are spilling out into the rink and brawling. And us, the players, we just stand back and watch, because we're watching our dads fight, and it's actually horrifying and embarrassing, and the cops had to be called. It was not a proud moment for anyone there. So the league announced that the game was a tie and no one was a winner, and the rink decided to cancel any future roller hockey seasons. My God was dead. He remains dead. We killed him. But I was no longer a victim or target at school. I was now the meanest, baddest fucking roller hockey player that the Villanova roller rink ever saw. And when I saw any of those asshole bully Michaels, they no longer shouted names at me because they knew I was the submarine and I would take them out like a torpedo. Thank you.